What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for episode 2, better known as season 2, with Coastal Carolina in our Dynasty Rebuild series for College Football 26 here on YouTube. And this is going to be our final gameplay on the original release build of the game, as tomorrow we are getting the first major title update to College Football 26, which there are definitely some big-time improvements coming. Supposedly, the player deal breaker of playing style is supposedly nerfed and tweaked to not be as big of an issue, which I can say right now, going through my roster, there are, I would say 85% of my roster right now has deal breakers. Some of them are playing style as well. Like this, we are in a terrible spot. We started with Coastal Carolina as a 1.5-star prestige school, and the biggest difference between a Madden rebuild and a college football rebuild is like you have to win early in a college football rebuild. You gotta start raising the prestige of your program because that'll help you with your school grades and that'll help you with your recruiting hours, and it really helps take your program to the next level. Now, last season, we were a tiebreaker away from playing in the Sun Belt Championship game. We had a 7-6 record. We had a bowl game. Yet we fell. We regressed from a 1.5-star down to a 1-star. So things are pretty bad right now. And I know, like, I've seen some of the comments around other people that do rebuilds in College Football 26, and it's too easy. And they win national titles too easy. And they start recruiting 4 and 5 stars too easy. Well, I'm the content creator that goes backwards somehow. It starts as a 1.5. And there we go. I mean, look at our year last year. It made no sense. Honestly, for us, regressing 7-6, 6-2 in conference play. We were second in the Sun Belt East. So we need to figure it out. Our roster is slightly better in areas than where it was a year ago. I think from a skill position standpoint, like the game changers is going to be tough. We lost our starting quarterback. We lost our starting running back, who was 220 pounds and had unlimited speed cap, which was brutal. I'll miss you, Cameron Knox. We lost our wide receiver 1, 2, and 3. We lost our tight end 1. Times are bad. But I will say, looking at our schedule, I'd say as a 74 overall, we're probably going to be favored in more than 7 games. So if our goal here is to get 8 wins and improve upon year 1, I think it's totally doable. Now, a couple talking points. One is I think we're going to go with Larry Garfield as our starting quarterback. Somewhat limited with his throw power and ceiling overall, especially with the normal dev trait, but he does give us some dual threat ability. And in case you're wondering, we did get one quarterback in from our recruiting cycle, and would you believe it, his skill caps are absolutely terrible. We had drama at the end of the last video. I literally wasn't sure if I could field the team or if we were going to get like randomly generated, super low rated walk-ons because our roster got depleted so bad. But luckily, we were able to find corner / wide receiver. He's a wide receiver in real life, but in College Football 26, he's listed as a corner. Robbie Washington, and we're able to move him to running back with that 94 speed, 94 acceleration. He's likely going to be our RB1 this season, so that'll be kind of fun, even though his carrying at only 72 is very, very concerning. Again, we're talking in the business of skill casts, like we have Daryl Gold and Hoese, our 2 freshmen, somewhat limited. I do think here at tight end, Lloyd Thomas, who is far and away our most athletic tight end, he has relatively good skill caps. Unlimited for route running. Hands are pretty good, on top of the fact that with that 84 speed, 81 acceleration, it's just a different area code of athlete. He's probably going to start for us as tight end 1. Defensively, though, we got some studs. Colin Hatch, a star dev. He was a 3-star gem. Look at those skill caps. Deal breaker is conference prestige, so that is kind of out of our control, but for the most part, there's a chance this guy develops into an incredible player for us. Same can be said here for the 3-star. He wasn't a gem either. He was just a normal 3-star impact dev recruit in Duran Orr, who, look at those skill caps. Max out man coverage, only 3 skill caps for zone coverage, only 1 skill cap for boosting up his speed and acceleration. What is his deal breaker? It's playing time, so that is very, very good for us. At safety, Elton Crook is another just stud. 3-star. He wasn't a gem or anything. Impact dev, proximity to home, perfect deal breaker, and unreal skill caps. 2 for pass coverage, only 1 for run support. We can almost max out his quickness. He is going to be a superstar for us one day. So looking at our initial recruiting board, we're going with 20 targets. We lost ours because we went from a 1.5-star down to a 1-star school. So it's going to be that much more challenging, and we really need to make up numbers. We didn't get a great role in the transfer portal. I want to be cautiously optimistic that this season is going to be a lot better. and will increase our school prestige, and we'll have more targets available to us during the transfer portal, but we can't rely on that. So I had to fill out this board, and we got 20. It's going to be tough, but we got Wesovich. I need a kicker. 3-star gem. We have Roche at corner. A 3-star gem. 91 speed. We have Stoke. We're within his top 10. Alves, Malvo. Plenty of players, honestly, if they had somewhat decent playing time, like anything above a B. And they were also #1 for Coastal Carolina. I just had to add them to the list because those are, we got to make up numbers. We got to add depth to this roster. The two most interesting players, and I'm probably going to have to hit with 50 hours each just to get onto their initial board. We have Barcow and we have Travon Jacob. Both of these guys are edge rushers. 6'6", 290, 6'3", 289. So for like the Sun Belt, these guys can play D-tackle. Look at the stats. We got 91 strength, 83 acceleration, 81 speed, 84 pursuit, 70 plus in power and finesse move, 72 tackle. Block shed kind of sucks. But then you look at this guy, 93 strength, 79 acceleration, 84 speed, 81 pursuit, 75 plus in both finesse and power move. And he's a gem. These guys are absolute studs. Really, really want to make sure we bring them in. On the offensive line, we're just looking for anybody that had us within the top 3 because we need to add so much depth there, especially in the interior. I got 2 fast-looking tight end players. We have 2 gem wide receivers here. Neither of them look like, an absolute OP cheesy, but maybe they'll come with like star devs and really good skill caps so we can bump that speed up a little bit. We need a running back. We need to add 3 running backs. The only one I found that had even remotely decent speed was Ben Hearns here, 200 pounds. So that's nice because a lot of times you get the running backs that have over 90 speed. They're like 160 pounds. I got 2 QBs here. One is Karma Blanco, who has us just outside his top 5. 3-star gem, so I'm interested. Statistically speaking, not brutal. Accuracy on point, almost 90 throw power, as long as there's not bad skill caps. He could be interesting. But then look at this guy. Like, literally at the cutoff between a 3-star and a 2-star player. He's an athlete. Richard Chavez. 6'4", 212, dual threat, 93 throw power, 86 short, 80 medium, 83 deep, 88 speed. This guy looks incredible. Like, he's going to be one of those players. He's going to be like a 78 overall. So we'll try and see if we can get some interest sparked there as well. Dude, we have 350 hours. Oh, brutal. All right, here we go. It's a new year, new season, year 2, Coastal Carolina. We kick off at home against Delaware. We need to start with a win here. Let's go, Angry Blue Chickens. Got plenty of freshmen, plenty of our own homegrown players that need to go out there and earn it. All right, 3rd down here, opening drive, 3rd and 5, just at about midfield. And it honestly is crazy that Washington, who was a corner when we started this rebuild, is probably our most explosive player offensively. Like, a lot of our offense this year, I won't be shocked if it runs through him. But he has, again, you get 90-plus speed. He has 94. In a conference like the Sun Belt where there are plenty of not 90-plus speed players, it is pretty easy to kind of separate yourself there a little bit. Short yardage, we've always kind of sucked here, but we get decent push. That is an opening drive score by the Chanticleers, better known as the Angry Blue Chickens. Here we go to opening drive here, 3rd and 11 from Delaware. We already lost week 0. Now for us defensively, this is another area of concern. We got Grayson Howard, transfer from Florida, SEC player. And we're going to need him to make plays. He's almost a 90 overall, so that was a huge get for us. Honestly, we might be able to, because of that transfer, sneakily have a draft pick come next season, which certainly will help our pro potential grade as a school. Probably won't make much of a dent in it, if we're being honest. But any progress forward is still progress nonetheless. And they check it down early. It is 4th and inches. Are they going to settle for a field goal? They're going to bring the pain for it. I appreciate it. They know they're Delaware. Let's go, Howard. Let's go. Turnover. Hot start for the Chanticleers, but not offensively. Wow, a 3-and-out very quickly. Wasn't able to move the football a whole lot. There we go. Good PBU there. Great tackle. See, how hard would it be to have that animation show up more than like the whole, like, oh, you get smacked and you just do the reverse slam dunk, boom shakalaka, aka, you know, drop it to the floor. But here we go. Look at this, man. I don't know how many teams, like, I'm thinking back, like offense or defensive weapons running the football. In my vast football knowledge, only 2 that I'm thinking, and I could be blanking. Feel free to share. I remember Shaq Thompson, who ended up being an awesome linebacker for the Carolina Panthers in the NFL. He played some running back at Washington, and I feel like Jabril Peppers kind of did a little bit of that at Michigan. Well, add Robbie Washington to the list, because from the looks of things, he's going to have a very productive season. Let's see if we can get him his first touchdown. So hard to run the football short yardage. Can't wait for the big title update tomorrow, which is supposed to improve run blocking, because it is, it's just so hard. Why is it so hard? Pause. 4th and goal. Can we run this up the middle? Hey, here we go. And Washington is in for his 4th score. He thought this season was going to be all about PBUs, picks, turnovers. Little do you know that you are going to probably have to try to carry our offense. You know, that's why you get athletes. That's why you get dogs. Not gonna lie, I was kind of looking for him to break off there a little earlier. We got to get into a vibe with this quarterback. We lost. It took us till like week 8 last year to start to get into a rhythm passing offense-wise, because we just never really had great speed. We had the injury bug last season. Our wide receiver 1 was hurt for 90% of the regular season. But then we kind of got it going a little bit. And then what happens? He hits the transfer portal, and he's gone. So what we know we have here in Garfield is, as long as our game's not on Mondays, because he hates Mondays, we got to treat the end zone like lasagna. And that's about all I have for Garfield references for right now. But we got to figure out the passing attack. That was amongst the injury bug that we had last season. I just couldn't get into a rhythm throwing the football with that team. So let's see. We got a couple good make-right games before we get in some of the tougher games in conference play. And for what it's worth, we did not have an athlete of the level of Robbie Washington last season. So turn around. Oh, you got to turn your head around. It's an easy touchdown. Chanticleers, ladies and gentlemen. Can we get a petition? Tell me the fighting angry blue chickens wouldn't sell and market better than a bird that is it a regional Carolina bird? I've never heard of it here in Canada. A chanticleer. And I'm becoming a little bit of like, I'm entering that, my unk stage as a kid. Fuck! The best thing about Washington, who's a DB, knows how to tackle. We got Blue Jays and Cardinals flying around the backyard. Got a bird feeder checking them out. It's kind of cool. Never seen a chanticleer. All right, let's close out this game. That was a brutal pick. Absolute total. It's a Monday's pick there for Garfield. Oh, I was gonna say, threw it high. Didn't even go to our intended target. Oh, we got a pick. Let's go! Vicari Swain, the transfer from South Carolina. We got 2 studs in the portal. Swain from South Carolina and Howard from Florida. A couple SEC players. And they're making themselves known here. Oh, nice little, that's still score. Let's win comfortably. Will that be a fun rebuild to do next? Delaware? We'll know they're one of the new teams. There we go. Good block. I mean, there we go. That's an exhausted Delaware defense. Here we go in the red zone. More points. No kneeling. Absolutely not. This is in every game this year, full throttle till we figure it out. Now maybe are we going to start to worry about QB wear and tear? Perhaps. But there's also an element of like there's not a lot separating our quarterback room. So let's just run our QB the way we want to run them. Run into these brick walls that you get every time. Short, third and short, first and short, second and short. And, you know, if an injury happens, we go depth. There we go, baby. Hutchinson, the Western Kentucky Red Blob transfer. That puts a stamp on the season opener. And our path to get back to a 1.5-star prestige school is on. Let's go, Robbie Washington. Dog. Damn. We are in the trenches here for recruiting. We lose out on Hearns at running back. Clemson, a gem wide receiver. Everything else looks certainly manageable. Let's start with a quick 2-0. We get FCS for our second game of the season. And we want to be a program that this game is kind of like a sweat-free. Let's go in, get a win. And the only worry is about injuries. Well, last year, we played the Groupers, FCS, and that went down to the wire. That came like almost a fourth quarter comeback. And as you can see here, our team, we feel pretty good about that win against Delaware. But no touchdowns. And now we are trailing FCS East. Now, I take a sense of pride that I've yet to lose to an FCS team. I don't love the fact that, you know, this lets me know that, like, no game's going to be easy this year. Even though our team last year was a 69 overall, now we're 74. That gap, and we got to come here, at least make it 17-10. Look at this. Taking knees. Winning by a field goal over it. Now, this was North Dakota State, South Dakota, Montana. You know, like an FCS blue blood. Maybe I'd be like, all right, not the end of the world. But as far as I know, FCS East, who's FCS East? Like an East Coast FCS team that's good? Doesn't ring a bell. Let's go ahead here and at least adjust our margins accordingly. But that is a concerning win. Nice 2-0 start. Week 3, we travel to Philadelphia to Lincoln Financial Field to take on the Temple Owls. You know, wow, I appreciate it. Look at that cluster of angry blue chickens that traveled to Philadelphia. All the way up East Coast. Let's put on a show for the fellas. Let's get to 3-0 and a little bit of a hot start. Get them to believe that maybe, just maybe this year, we'll be undeniably in the Sun Belt Championship game. 3rd and 6. Ooh, baby. Hell of a play. Get Glass open, the freshman. Another 3rd down. I like this one. Halfback cross string gets the ball into Washington's hands. That's what we're about. Playmakers. Doing what they do best. And look at that. Get that block, lineman. Let's go. Opening drive score. Not much of a home pulse we need to worry about. But try to take the crowd out of it. Temple able to go down and score our next moment. Is to come in 3rd and 9 in field goal range. Fringe. We got a good kicker. Man, covered sack there. Not much we could do to operate. Ooh, turnover. Defense forces a pick and gives us outstanding opening field position here. 10-yard line. Now we need to apologize to Washington and his family for saying you're going to be running into a wall probably 300 times this season. But for the couple times that we do give you space and time, take advantage of it with that 94 speed. Come on, just get your blocks, get your blocks, get your blocks. Let's go, Robbie Washington. Another 2-minute drill, certainly. Now this is an area that we haven't seen with this team. Can this team get some chunk plays? Do have a couple speedsters. Hutchinson has good speed. It's almost, do we have the throw power to get there? But let's go Hutchinson. There we go Washington, sorry. Not too many teams that like our wide receiver 1 and our not wide receiver 1. RB1 is the same guy. Let's throw it up to the tight end. Oh, wow. Jump ball. I mean, wasn't a bad pick. Surprised he caught it through my tight end there, but let's let them see if they can kick that field goal. And no, they can't cut into the lead any. We will come down on this 3rd down and 8. Nickel 2. I am seeing something that I'm going to do this right now. So we have a very fast wide receiver that I don't think is getting on the field. It's probably because of like the slight, yeah. Zachary with an X. We need, like, just catching. Honestly, I think I'm going to line him up at slot. I think that'll be the easiest way for him to get on the field. It's not a huge discrepancy. And we need that 90. We don't. He's just unbelievable speed. All right, cycle through the whole defense. Can't find the linebacker. Sick. Let's go, big PB on the outside. Great stand defense. Well, give me a chance offensively. Oh, I got something for you, Temple. Zachary with an X. He's here. He got speed. You got no speed like that. Where is he? Zachary, he's the A. Okay, we're probably going to try to get this to Hutchinson right at the goal line. Gets a little bit of separation. Very nice. We're not going to mess that layup. Lead back with Coastal. Ooh, get another red zone opportunity here. Clock's burning, 21-14. That might set up a future screen pass. Look at that. Whoa. Look at that. 17. Got great speed. Great pursuit there to track down. But, you know, we were cautiously hoping would have been an easy run-in touchdown. Already the wear and tear on Washington is adding up. He's not used to this type of punishment playing DB. Let's go, Garfield. Hell yeah. Very nice. A lot of nothing here. Close this one out, fellas. 28-14. And we do. Grind the drive away. No more points, but we made sure they didn't get the football back. Don't look now, but Coastal got some momentum. Big road win at Link. Quarterback played well. Let's go 3-0. All right, brand exposure's going up. Championship contenders going up. Now we got a rivalry game here in week 4. I didn't actually know Liberty was a rival. Like, isn't that where Coastal Carolina's... Didn't Jamie Chadwell go to Liberty? Ooh, that's a little spicy. A little research. There's no name officially for this rivalry, but what we do know is Liberty, all-time, 8-7. So now it's time to break even. Bring them even. And eventually, next year, take the lead in the rivalry. I'll make that a priority, schedule them next season. You know, any locals, can you elaborate on this rivalry? Is there a reason? Like, it looks like, just from looking at Wikipedia, like they both kind of were joining FCS, at, like, you know, making that jump at the same time. So, like, they're, you know, we were rookies as football programs, and that's why. That's the connection. All right, Liberty starts out pretty hot. We're going to go to the best athlete on the field, Robbie Washington. Man, stud, man. We're going to get that guy drafted. Another 3rd down. What was that? I'm not going to lie. I want to run that play again. That exact... Nice little throw there to Glass. Get us down into the red zone. 3rd down, certainly all coming. Oh, here we go. Salem Y corner. And then Washington at the backfield. I mean, we'll catch on to it eventually, but let's see if we can get it again. Oh my God, why did I just take it? Oh my God, I overthought it. I like it. I like not kicking the field goal here. I absolutely screwed that up. He was open. That would have been another touchdown. Come on, C4. Got to. Oh, that's too late, though. Toe tap. Let's go. Tight end makes the grab. Touchdown, Coastal. We got another third down. Oh, that's sick. Very favorable field position here. Starting in the red zone. Take the easy throws. Let's go glass. 3rd and 6. Give them goal to go. Man, we are just spotting our sim. Let's go back to the Salem Y corner. They do not have play cool downs in this rebuild series. I may have to if this play becomes so good in post set, but like, man, oh man. That's one of those ones I hope that play is like somewhat specific to Coastal's playbook. And like we can finally like take advantage of that. And now I'm almost like from science. When will they stop it? Keep running it until they will stop it. Will they eventually stop it? Will they eventually figure it out? Because what I'm seeing is every time it's far and away the most meta play we have. There we go, another touchdown. We did miss the extra point, so not all good things can happen. But let's kind of coast this one in here. Wow. Far from coasting it into halftime. Liberty got some momentum here. All right, let's come and help them out. 3rd down. I'm going to run it. Let's just see. This is going to be a for science rivalry matchup. Even with the terrible throw, he can still bring it in. Garfield's thrown a pick since we've last seen him. For science. Oh, it's not Washington anymore, though. Maybe that's the key. It's like it works because he's so fast. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, we'll kind of burn that drive. Like, that play's not unstoppable. That's a good thing. All right, in the red zone. We'll run something a little different. Maybe a speed option here. Let's run the opposite hash. Not the best play call. Wait, is Washington hurt? Please. Please don't. Please just say he's tired from running the same play all over again. Okay, that's good. Well, it was a free play. Nice. He was already lined up offside. Actually, one thing I do want to do. I'm just going to make this move right now. This is going to be a figured out type game. Because, I mean, I love the speed here. Let's just see what that speed feels like. Having him line out wide. And then we'll make the decision if it's worth kind of uprooting our wide receiver depth chart to get him on the field. And ignore the rating. Hell yeah, Garfield. Use every bit of that speed. Another red zone. Let's go. Get more reps. I need the reps. Last year, couldn't find a rhythm. This year, finding certainly more. Let's go. Widener. Zachary with an X. This is going to be your chance. This is going to be your tryout. And he makes a diving Superman grab. Okay. First test passed for Zachary with an X. Another red zone. I mean, it's a rivalry game, right? Rivalry game. We felt disrespected last season, getting left out of the Sun Belt Championship, even though there was no damn good reason why. So let's keep running it up. At the risk of injury, and I am starting to actually be very concerned about, I mean, it's the wear and tear. That's 100% what it is. Even if he's not showing up on the injury report, Washington's wear and tear is not great. So I think that's kind of what we're going through with here. That's why he's not on the field. But when he is on the field, we got to make sure we got to make it count. Snaps are going to be limited. Kind of weird. Let's go high-low dig. Show a little finesse here, Garfield. Want to get this to Wayne, top of the screen. Oh. You try things like that when you're up 20. Still a quality win. Still a nice rivalry game. We got to get a nickname for that rivalry. Colt versus Coastal. I don't know. But a big win. I mean, we need him on the field more. We got to figure out the wear and tear there. There we go. That's sick. Not really an overly impressive performance. But the Florida Gator transfer, Grayson Howard, wins Sunbelt Defensive Player of the Week. Dude, what? What did he do? What did I miss? It's nothing with Robbie Washington. I mean, he had a pick, 3 PBUs, a forced fumble, 2 fumble. Okay, yeah, okay. He padded his stats. Good for him. Not really much to update on a recruiting standpoint. There are some big schools that are lurking. Like on Barcal, we got Georgia kind of just sitting there and waiting. We got Minnesota on Roche. We have on the offensive line, I think Auburn. We got South Carolina, Auburn there. We got South Carolina waiting on the quarterback. So we're going to start scheduling in some visits now. And hopefully within the next week or two, we can start getting some guys assigned so we can kind of max out our budget in other ways. Week 5, we get our first conference game of the season, and it's against a competitive 3-2 Marshall on the road. I say, my concern right now is Washington's wear and tear, and it doesn't look terrible. I don't know why he's not, why is his stamina terrible? I don't know why he's constantly off the field. 86, it's not bad. Let's see, we got a night game under the stars. Marshall's, West Virginia? A Virginia of some sort? Generally not terrible anymore with, non-location-based school names. Don't want to admit how long it took me to not know where Duke was. But, dang. I like going for it on 4th down. I like this aggressive call. 4th and 4. We'll go with the mesh, something high percentage. And terrible. Okay, let's go. First quarter, let's take the lead. You know what I'm going to do right away? Let's get that speedy. Let's get Zachary with an X out there. Austin kind of is like a cheat code. Like, he is so far and away like the best athlete. Like, maybe that's how it keeps it in balance. It's like, okay, you can have him for the first half, but in the second half, he's barely going to play because his wear and tear in-game is one of the worst in the nation. And that's your punishment for taking a DB and moving him to running back and then making him the feature player of your offense. So let's go over the Texas run. I do like the amount of plays like this that are, quick throws to the tight end and running back. But we want to look at B here. B with his speed. Oh, Zachary with an X. Smart throwaway. A little bit of a stadium pulse there. I mean, we're still early enough in the season. 3-2 for Marshall is not, like, they get hot, they win, can rattle off 5, 6 in a row. They're going to be right in the hunt for the Sun Belt Championship. Let's go Zachary with an X. Make that jump ball. Oh, maybe he doesn't have great jumping. Runs in a straight line pretty good. So we got to... We're going to go for this. 4th and 3. It's not the exact play that we're running last game, I don't think, but it's same route for Washington. Oh my God, let's go. We're gonna give him. He's gonna get he's gonna have 1,000 yards rushing and receiving, I think. Oh, we had to go for it. The good news is Edwards, our other running back, is pretty solid. He's like an 80 overall. Bad news is our offensive line is terrible. And about the equivalent, if you asked a bunch of junior high middle schoolers, like, hey, do you want to play college football this weekend? We're low on numbers. That's kind of the O-line play that we've been getting here. But look at this. Washington on the outside, lined up at wide receiver. Let's go. What a weapon. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan, honestly, right now. Especially because not pre-planned. Now, we did mention on the year one, we're breaking down the roster, like, hey, this Washington guy is clearly one of our fastest players. And in real life, they list him as wide receiver. I don't know why we have him as a corner. But now a long way of saying, okay, we now have made something that's pretty terrifying. Let's go. Let's kick the field goal here. It's just about a win. This is not a flex win. This is not, let's show the Sun Belt that you know you robbed us last year and we're a lot better this season. No, this is, let's just stack wins. Like as many wins as we can. Let's get Washington in the end zone. Let's get Washington as many touchdowns as we possibly can. As much yards as we can. 4th and 1. I don't think so. We're going to run into this wall and dare you to insta-shed block us. Let's go. That's a rare 1-yard gain there. You don't always get that rare 1-yard gain. Could we get any points off that? Really? And I love the fact that it's been a couple drives that I've let our team handle business in the red zone. I think we got 6 points from 3 red zone trips. Efficiency's not great, but our defense has showed up. Love the defensive performance so far. Love the offense just kind of closing that one out. That's a quality win. Marshall is no joke in the Sun Belt. Probably not an upper tier team, but they're a middle tier team that you get them on a wrong night for us, right night for them, at home for us on the road. Bad things could happen. We go in, handle business, remain undefeated. Here's the bad news, is our minutes are stretched with it. I don't even think it's going to be worth us now that we've fallen behind Auburn to continue to pursue Eli break. And I'm just almost at this point also looking for excuses to start shaving some points off, start thinning up our board a little bit to build our hours back up. We got a level for Tim Beck. We've been exclusively trying to get 3 out of 4 here. And the next move probably should be linebacker and just get that down to tier 3. However, there's still absolutely a commitment here that I think, working through Motivator is going to make a lot of sense. Especially, tier 1 is what it is. It's got nerf, but there still is value for utilizing that when you can. But you want that tier 3. You want that ability to get the off-season training boost, which is going to help because we don't have a whole lot of good dev traits. And that is going to work in tandem with the build that I said I want to try to achieve, which is to get the max amount of XP and then to kind of have a little bit of fun with tier 3 and Architect, which is limitless, which has a chance to increase a random skill cap when leveling up, which I don't know if you've used that. I kind of found like when I have used it, it's like, let's say you have a player that had 40 upgrade points after training camp, right? I felt like every 3 upgrades I did for a player, you were gaining a skill cap somewhere. And I remember I did it with a tight end in particular that was maxed out for speed. He had like 84, 85 speed, and I was maxing out his route running. And it was only costing me 2 points every time to max out his route running. And after 3 times, we freed up a bar to increase his speed as well. So it is something that I don't think maybe enough people are talking about how overpowered it could be. So I think because that's where we're going, Let's get 3 out of 4 here on Motivator to get that off-season training boost. That'll be step 1, and then step 2 would be getting tier 3 on Architect. Week 6, we are back in Sunbelt play against 1-3 Georgia Southern coming to town. They were really good last year. I think that was like a 7, 8, 9 win team last season. Off to a rough start here. Portal did not. The portal probably depleted most teams in the Sunbelt, but not our problem. We had to deal with it. I had to freaking find a corner that could play running back. And we're 5-0. No excuses. I'm not going to say the TRAP word, but feels like it. Home game against a team that was very good last year. Off to a terrible start. It just feels like one of those ones. So what we're going to do is I'm gonna call the bluff of this game. We're just going to play offense only. That's a ball, man. Wayne, that's a guy. Do think I got to make this permanent change to our depth chart. I don't care what your rating is. Speed is like the be-all, end-all in the Sun Belt, like against the DBs that we're going up against. So what I'm going to do is Wayne is easily our best receiver. We'll put him in the slot, and at least we'll put some speed on the outside. And I'm not saying that just because, he wants to throw the shot play on over again, but we need to have that as an option. Slant shots, quick routes, guys get yards after the catch. Like, you need speed. And that is speed we just have not had. I think that'll be a good change that we'll have to make permanently after this game to our depth chart. But as it stands right now, when we get behind the sticks, perfect opportunity, especially because teams haven't respected us. We saw in other rebuilds. Go back to UMass. Teams eventually just stopped running press man because we were so fast. Well, let's flip the script here. Georgia Southern, you want to press my 95 speed wide receivers? Good luck. This is going to happen. See ya. Fire blue, angry chicken. Let's go, Road. I don't know if the Road Runner was blue. But we're going to hit you like we're the Road Runners, and we're not UTSA. Hot start, up 14-0. Get a nice little turnover there. Oh, and then we turn it over. Just ensure this is not a trap game. And then we're going to go make those adjustments and make sure we can put out the fastest lineup. Put a track team. Make every game a track meet. All right, they're kind of... Let's come in. Will Hutchinson. Westkey transfer. What kind of speed we got here? Missing piece. Change things around. Had to find the right seasoning. But boy, oh boy. We take this team to a rib comp. We got the best rub in town. The trick is you always use less salt. Look at those guides. You look at rub guides. Trust me. Less salt every time for the win. Put him away. Let's go, boys. Getting turnovers. Defense contributing. Offense contributing. No trap game today, sir. Who's player of the game? Quarterback? Probably Garfield. 3 touchdowns. Don't even have player of the game. Don't need it. Whole team was player of the game. I'm player of the game. Things don't get any easier as we get a emerging contender in the Sun Belt this season, Southern Miss, who are 4-2, undefeated in conference play. I think it's a good time as there's still no real update to our recruiting class, which hopefully we will see that next week. Let's get a look at the Sun Belt Conference standings, where Arkansas State's 4-1. We're 6-0, a couple 4-2s. Southern Miss 2-0 in conference play. App State 2-0 in conference play. UL Monroe's 3-1. Doesn't look like it's going to be as competitive of a season as it was a year ago for these championship spots, but, you know, I do like the fact from a point differential standpoint, we're looking pretty good. So this would be, and I don't want to come in to defeat us. I want to see us smash these guys. But if this is an L, this would be like, all right, you know what? Pretty good team at home, bad weather conditions. We will see. We're going to play each and every pivotal moment. And hopefully here, starting with a 3rd and 8 in a rain game. Oh, I messed up my wide. I forgot to do the wide receiver switch. And we're appropriately punished with a sack fumble on our first throw. We're going to do this right now. I don't know how much we're going to be able to utilize it because of the weather conditions. But maybe this will be a great game to, you know, goat these guys into thinking that you know, we're not going to hit them with speed. And then you shock them with a first quarter depth chart adjustment to bring some speed up. Southern Miss scores on their first drive. Would have loved to come in on 3rd down at some point. Let's go. We got Wayne middle of the field. We got the tight end here. Boom. No separation. Honestly, gets crushed. Here we go. 3rd down. 3rd and 8. Start playing some D. Grayson Howard, SEC level player, and he just... Is that Le'Veon Bell? Jesus. So they are, you know, this kind of game that Southern Miss likes, apparently. I'm going to guess that is a beast of a running back. Let's meet him in the hole. There we go. Or just bring the quarterback down. Bend, don't break. When am I going to have a turn on offense? Not a good deficit. But touchdown here. Make the most of our apparently limited turns on offense in this game. Try to run the football. Try to highlight our best skill position player by running the football. Come on, 61. Turn your fucking head. Pardon my French, but turn your fucking head. Jesus Christ. Idiots. They're lemmings. I have lemmings of offensive linemen. Like, they, you know what they remind me? They're the seagulls from Finding Nemo. Mine, mine, mine. That's all they do. Hey, you gotta get that block and just mine, mine, mine. There we go. Got a little bit of speed on the outside. Zachary with an X. That's why we make those halftime adjustments. And as long as our lemmings up front can give us a chance here in the second half, I'm down to continue to utilize this speed. Fit that in. Hutchinson, why are we... Better throw. Fit that in. There was a window there. I can't find the window? If he was a bear, you'd never get any pie sitting on window sills. Can't find a window, this Garfield. No lasagna! There's a pun right there. We go. How did I miss that? Usually, any lasagna sitting in a window cooling off around a Garfield gets put. Our Garfield couldn't find a window to save his freaking life. Took me a minute. We got there. We got to the joke. Right now, we got to wake up offensively. Let's go. Right bumper. Make that safe grab. Or comically have that fall incomplete. Maybe a jet pass. That's what we need. Yes, to our slowest wide receiver. That's going to take them by surprise. I think for sure we're going to get the football into the hands of one of our speedsters. But we're actually going to give it to the hands of our star wide receiver, Wayne. And we are trailing by 3. Let's come in here. Big third down. 3rd and 7. Let's go over 3 sting. Hit him with a stunt. Go stunt from the right side. Let's go. Try this. We Grayson Howard, middle of the field. Make sure the running back doesn't take off. What a tackle. Let's go. Who is that 8? Dog. Going for it. Okay. That's a lie. They're going to punt it. Who's our punt returner? Hutchinson. The Western Kentucky transfer. No chance. That guy just straight up punted it sideways. 3rd down. This is what we need, man. We can't... We got to a spot where we were winning kind of comfortably. We need a battle like this to be tested. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna lie. I did not see that. 38-yarder. Let's go. Kicker was probably one of our best players last year. And this year remains such. We are tied at 17. Would have rathered more points there, but let's go. And there we go. Defense does their job. What we're going to do at this point, 3 minutes to go. We're going to turn on shoe clock a little bit. Take as many. Oh, of course, it's short yardage, so we're probably going to run into a wall here a couple times, but we'll take as much time off the clock as we possibly can to ensure that our defense has the best chance of not allowing an epic Southern Miss come from behind victory. But then it's just the only way to describe it. It's like it almost feels like I have wide receivers blocking on the offensive line. They have the body of offensive linemen, but they have the blocking of like a receiver on the edge. Every single one of them. 3rd and goal. This is brutal. 4th and goal on the 1. Got to throw it. Do we kick it? No. Short field goals. Impossible. Come on. We slipped! But we found... Oh, this game! All right. Let's collect ourselves. Goes to overtime. They had to settle for a field goal. Touchdown, we win. And we'll forget that that just happened. And they completely read that play. Luckily, I mean, almost, that's good. That was only a loss of 1. Could have been a lot worse. I mean, hey, that's what, rain game. You're going to slip eventually. Feels like that was comically scripted for us to slip there, but that's fine. They're seeing a, undefeated Coastal Carolina team, and they're saying, you know what, let's see how undefeated these guys really are. So let's figure this out. 3rd and 11. It was a red throw. It was red. We're going to go for it. I'm not playing for ties. I'm not letting my defense. We're going to go Wayne on a slant. Oh, I can't even audible to a slant. Okay. Can I audible you to a Texas? There we go. We got Texas on Washington. That's where we're going. Best player. Not for a thumbnail, tell you that. You think if I threw this hard enough, I could throw it through my monitor and go at the other side? You guys think? That should go on Mythbusters. Fuck! Raphael, I was kind of hoping maybe we get a little good news and a commit or two. Nope. Actually, we've lost ground on Archibald here, so we're needing to. Guess bring him in on App State week, and we got him on proximity to home, I suppose, if that's going to work. Honestly, we might as well hit him with max hours. No other kind of fallers, which is good, but I'm not seeing a lot of commits. We got Alves at line. We've been his #1 school since day one. Like, that's a guy there. Come on, commit. We got. That's it. Everyone else is. This is so much. Okay, we've done UMass and Hawaii, all 1-stars. This has been harder. Much harder recruiting. Maybe it's because the pipelines, like we're competing against Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina. Still going inside off the bye week. All right, so we're going into week 10 before we get our first potential commit. Brutal. But the good news, I suppose, is off that L, we had the bye week. They kind of stew in that loss, refocus our attention, realign with where we can still go and achieve this season. We get Old Dominion off the bye as far as the conference standing. It's not like that loss plummeted us out of where we need to be, right? Just a little setback. Now we have to gain ground on Southern Miss. App State, Arkansas State are there. But let's focus on winning out. And to do so, we get App State. So we're going to be able to run that one back. And Georgia State 5-3. But outside of that, you got 2-5 Old Dominion, 3-4 Texas State. JMU must have got smashed with the transfer portal. They were very good a year ago. They're at 2-5. So there's, those are going to be two tough games. But I think we absolutely have a chance to win out and finish as a one-loss regular season team. Let's go, boys. Bounce back. Southern Miss, they're good. That was a home game. The weather sucked. We have just about every excuse in the books to justify that loss. But off a bye week, we're rested. To chill out on the wear and tear just a little bit. We get Old Dominion 2-5 off the bye. And here we are, 0 points in the first half. We're going to come in now, I guess. Dying moments. 41 seconds. A touchdown's all it takes for us to go with a halftime lead. Don't need to win pretty, just need to win. We're going to go right to Washington. Line up. Not too many teams in the country can line up their running back out at wide receiver. And he's still as much of a weapon. But we get the instant score. Let's go, boys. Step it up. 21-6. Maybe that Southern Miss loss is the kick in the ass we needed. We're pulling a 2024 Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are 2-2. We literally let Kirk Cousins go 70 yards in 10 seconds to beat us, and we lost to the Falcons, and Saquon Barkley dropped. And then since that loss built the character that propelled this Eagles team to go on and win the Super Bowl. Maybe that loss against Southern Miss is going to be the kick in the butt we needed. Coastal Carolina needed, myself included, to go on a tear to end this season and get where we want to go. Okay. Lose our first recruit, Archibald, so that means we went from I needed 2 tight ends. We've lost both tight end recruits. And we've still yet going into, what week is this? All right, 6. See Grayson Howard, Defensive Player of the Week performance. But we are going into week 10 with not a single commit. I don't think I've ever done that. So why? Why are you the way you are, Coastal Carolina? It's going to be, we're just kind of moving the same kind of pieces. Like, we're just going to start losing guys. We're taking way too long. We got Hilbert here. I mean, we'll up him to 40. We already have him coming on a visit. We've lost ground on Moffitt to Vandy. He's going week 13, so we won't be able to bring him in week 11. But, like, okay, I guess B- championship contender. And we'll hit him with an extra 10. But it's just brutal. At this point, like, even for our team and for our limited budget, if we would have had 2 or 3, which you almost always have, that is an extra 40, 50 hours that we could be working with, kind of closing the gap and sealing out these recruits. We have 14. We should get all 14. I could see us getting 7, getting half these just because of how, like, let's see. Is anyone else closer to committing? No. Like, these guys, okay, closer to losing out on him. We still, okay, we got Jacob, so, like, that might be next week. That'd be a good get. Definitely one of my favorite recruits during this process. We get Alves, Malvo, anytime. Would appreciate it. Roche here. Can I give him 5? No, he's already at. Come on, fella. Hook me up. Throw me a bone. Why are we making this the hardest rebuild ever? Let's go. First commit. Almost at the end of the season. But Trevon Jacob, who if I'm power ranking our commits, he'd be up there. That's sick. We fall here on Moffitt down to his number 2 school. Well, at least I would rather these hours be coming out the board because of commits, but like with Moffitt, there's what do we got? Week 11. Is that this week? I mean, if we win this week, that could help us get back into first place. This is going to be our biggest game all season, probably all series. 8-2 App State, undefeated in Sun Belt play. 8-1 Coastal Carolina. We're 4-1. We got to put a blemish on their Sun Belt conference play record. Look at what they got going. Not really concerned with the quarterback play. 18 touchdowns to 10 picks. Not anything crazy. Max Guest at running back, their most productive runner. Nothing crazy. I mean, I'm not seeing much unless they got, like, even their speedsters. They don't got a whole lot of speed. This guy, Chris Lawson, could be a little bit of a problem. 91 speed, 94 acceleration. Defensively, they got a very good pass rusher here in Allen Quinton. 8.5 sacks on 15 TFLs, but not much outside of that. Their interceptions are, that's decent. But overall, fellas, got to win this one. All right, we've been through almost 30 games with Coastal Carolina. This is the most important one. Got to win. Got a statement that you are not going to deny us through tiebreakers or whatever nonsense a spot in the conference championship game. Last year there was tiebreakers, politics, whatever you want to say, keeping us out of that game. This year they're not going to have that. This year we're going up against the best they have to offer at App State. And we're at this point, we're going to get them to run a naked mile here because they're not going to get a single point. Come on, boys. Naked mile. I want to see App State run the naked mile. Those hill people. Hillbillies. I didn't need to come. I didn't even need to manipulate that game. Team's ready. That loss came at a perfect time before the bye. We're starting to get some commits, so it's making you feel good about the project. That's the best this conference has to offer. That's the team that poster child for the Sun Belt. Here we go. Got a couple visits. We get Evan Roche, the 3-star gem corner. How is that it? Why is this moving so slowly? I had 4 visits last week. And we have players playing out of their minds. 3 picks by the South Carolina transfer, Swain. So with that win, do we shift the balance? Kind of not so. I mean, come on, we're 9-1. Give us the tiebreaker. If we finish 6-1, give us we beat them. There's no way. This is going to be collusion in the highest degree again. If we get screwed, out of a championship spot. We finished the regular season at home against 6-4 Texas State, who are 4-2 in conference play. So this is far from a layup, an easy game. So let's go. Control what we can control. And last year we were denied. This year we will be undeniable. We're going to smash App State, which we did. We're going to have a perfect trap game opportunity. We already had our trap game against Southern Miss in the rain on the road. This is a perfect condition home game at the teal turf with the angry blue chickens and a crowd that is behind this program and excited for this program to get back to the success that they had 5 years ago, 6 years ago, the Grayson McCall years. Grayson McCall actually is on our staff. Didn't know that. He's already retired, into coaching. That's pretty cool. So we're going to take inspiration from those Chadwell years and usher in the new era. We've done our part. 24-8. We've established ourselves as the premier program in this conference. I dare them to leave us out. Let's go. More commits. Alves, the linebacker, signs on. Oh, great. We're losing ground on a lot of our linemen that look like locks, which is not great. There we go. First in the Sun Belt. Let's go, man. It's in our hands. I don't want to say that we're front runners. We're going to cruise, but one more game. We did the hard work. We're respected. Let's see this thing across the line. In this case here, going up against an SEC school, not even going to waste those hours. We can diversify that 40 elsewhere. And have to hope we get a good roll, man. I needed 4 guards this recruiting cycle. I got 0. Now, this is a different JMU team. Last year, JMU was far and away the top team in the Sun Belt. And much like us, probably a very unforgiving end of the season. Be it, graduating class, be it the transfer portal. So I understand. We are 2 teams, but we're able to endure. Not every team can say the same. That's how I interpret this. We get a little adversity, we come back, we go 10-1. We win the games we're supposed to win. JMU goes under a little adversity. They no longer have the only 90 rated quarterback in the conference. They don't have Petway, who's the best running back in the conference. A little bit of adversity hits, and they crumble. 4-7 on the year. But for Coastal, as long as we don't, there's still a chance, I guess, we could blow this one. We take somehow, some way, being a tiebreaker out of the championship game in our program regressing as a whole from a 1.5 star to 1 star. We took that on the chin and used it and motivated it to come back with this season. An 11-1 regular season and a lock to appear undeniably in the Sun Belt Championship. Let's go. We get our first lineman, Sisk, out of South Carolina to commit. Good week. Malvo, D-tackle. Love that. We get Stoke at corner. Love that. So we end up getting both our DB targets. We get ranked. We get revenge. Sun Belt Championship. The one team that has beat us. The blemish on our record. It's going to be a good one. Here we go. Chavez, the quarterback who, as long as the skill caps are, I don't even need a dev trade. His base rating is going to enter himself, I think, into the quarterback competition next year. So that is good to get across the line. Unfortunately, South Carolina's come out of nowhere for our gem quarterback. We have been first since preseason. Those bastards. You bring him into a visit. Whatever. 5'11", 190. Look, you know what? Out of sight, out of mind. Not worth the time. We got bigger fish to fry. Can't worry about commits at this point. 11-1 Coastal Carolina, 9-3 Southern Miss. In their backyard. Again, second time on the road. I assume this is not a neutral site game. You don't get a chance of revenge like this very often. It's going to taste sweet because we're going to smash them. Look at this. Very limited passing offense. 12 touchdowns to 5 picks. You telling me we can't figure it out? They had Goose Crowder at quarterback. Are we scared of Goose Crowder? He's banged up. Their run game, very terrifying. Duke Clark, just under 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns. They have Broom with 17 touchdowns. Got a 1,000-yard receiver here in Aiden Williams, 6'3" with that 90 speed. So he's a weapon. He's an issue. That's going to be, figure that out. Pass rush department, Joe Lazon Landry. Houston, Texas. 19 TFLs, 11.5 sacks. They got Dexter Ricks. That sounds like a guy that's going to get a lot of interceptions, a lot of turnovers. He got 7 picks on the year. All right. I mean, they're top heavy. They got a run game. 2 really good guys on defense. Other than that, get off the tracks or get ran over. Returning to the scene of the crime. I did see Goose Crowder was hurt. Is he either starting quarterback? We're going to have to play all these moments. This is huge. Coastal Carolina, from being my first rebuild, maybe even going back to last year, where we regressed. A little bit of separation, Wayne. Now, what I didn't love is I didn't see a Robbie Washington out there. Star running back. Please don't. Please don't tell me there was an injury I missed after JMU. We were healthy going in. Broken hand. Other than that, we're down. We got 1 running back on the roster. We had 3 running backs. It was the whole dilemma that started this whole thing. And we got 1, Claiborne. 1 healthy running back limping into the championship. Oh, man. Okay. I mean, no one else to blame but me. Goes back to what I just initially started to say. I've never regressed as a team. And I think because of said regression, that affected how the transfer portal, that affected the amount of players we could attract to this program. That is why our numbers were so bad. That is why so many players wanted to jump off what they thought was a sinking ship here in Coastal. 7-6 last year. Bowl game loss last year. They didn't have faith. Everyone that stayed here. Garfield and his hatred of Mondays. 11-1. Championship game. We're ranked right now. How is that not a touchdown? Are you kidding me? You know what we need? You know what we need to run. Where's this? Don't want to blast play. Can we just QB sneak it? There we go. Goal line. QB sneak. Let's go, Garfield. Cap this drive off. Put them on their heels. Take this crowd out of the game. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. There's a packed stadium here, Southern Miss. They haven't seen a stadium like that since Brett Favre was their quarterback. There we go. Tied up 7-7. Very close. Not a lot separates, especially with us down at Robbie Washington. Worth it to go for it. Coach wants the field goal. Wow. Nope. That stadium, I'll give him credit. It's not a crazy stadium post, but it's working its magic. It's doing the best it can. I think that would make it very annoying to try and kick field goals. And if that somehow would have been like bump me out of first down yardage and then been a lot, oh, great. Now we get it. Okay, absolutely have to kick it. 4th and a mile. Boom. Ice in the veins. And a lead is back with the Angry Blue Chickens. 2-minute drill. Sure. Yes. I'm in. Gonna be very worried that we only have 1 running back on the roster and our team is pretty fragile. I'd like to hope for... we just outran our coverage. That, the multiple weeks, if we get a bowl game, when we have our bowl game, he'll be back for that. Oh, come on. I'll expect that. His catching sucks. There's a reason why, he's our 4th highest rated wide receiver. We only have him out there for speed. He's going to drop it. He'll get open. He'll get separation. Coming down with the football is a different story, but there we go. Go right back to him. Show the faith. Use a timeout. Come on, press. Come on, you guys are the home team, right? The big momentum. Get in our face. Let's see who can win a foot race. Oh, one-handed grab by Wayne. That is what we need to see. Keep going. What a drive. Let's get some points here. Oh, he's going to make grabs like that. Go again. Oh, he gave us a shot on that. I love coach. Just keep running all go. No other plays. I don't hate it. I wish for once, man. Come on. Press one of our guys to the line of scrimmage. You know what? Actually, I'm going to take Wayne on a slant here. I don't even know if it'll let me audible to it. Nope. And then there you go. That's your best pass rusher right there. Double-digit sacks. He's a beast. Mr. Landry. Yes, Hutchinson! Let's go! The Western Kentucky transfer. Woo! At the end, man. That's all you need. That little bit of separation. And there we go. Defense gets a stop. I'm going to be a little cowardless here, and we'll put on shoe clock just to try and control the second half. We got a lead. In fact, there's not a lot of wear and tear on this running back, our RB3. So can you see this one out? Be a dependable soldier and get this 1 yard. Please, Claiborne. 1 yard, buddy. Don't get ran from behind, dude. No way. There's no way Southern Miss has athletes that can literally make those types of plays. I refuse to believe it. Pats comes out tomorrow, everybody. It literally was in the graphic was run blocking. Go right back to Hutchinson. It's not bad because we're chewing clock on, so those two runs did serve purpose strategically. But honestly, just throw the football. Oh, man. Okay. I mean, trading some points here late, but I think very similar to the App State game. Like, there's just no denying this. It's all because I think of how the championship game got decided last year. Tiebreakers, nonsense, bullshit, keeping us out. Gonna get a half-decent bowl game out of this. The angry Blue Chickens, Sun Belt champions. A year removed from getting robbed of our rightful spot in this game. We left no chance. I mean, we maybe left the door open with a loss early in the year to Southern Miss. Let's go into the notes here. One Sun Belt. So Miss. Suck it. 38-23. Down. Our best offensive weapon. We found a way. Defense forced 2 picks. 3 touchdowns, 1 pick for Garfield. Backup running back, Damian Claiborne. What did he do? 154 yards and a touchdown. He did have a fumble. That's what you get when you're starting an RB3 in a big game. Hutchinson, 2 touchdowns, 7 yards, over 100 for Wayne. He's trying to go out as a senior. His head held high. We got a sack from Shirley. We got 2 picks from Ower and Pritchett. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Now, it's been a little bit of a trope in my rebuilds. Probably in almost anybody's rebuilds. Like, all right, one more Sun Belt. Do we jump up conference or anything? No. We're going to be in the Sun Belt for, even if we win another one. Maybe if it's just a belt to ash like we just had this year, maybe I'll entertain it. But I'm more so viewing this as like a school prestige. If we jump up to wherever, I don't think we're ready. We're not going to have the recruiting budget to really, for it to, like, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather go low and slow. Cook this rebuild, 225 versus juking up to 400 and going too fast. So we'll stack Sun Belt championships for the time being. hopefully our school proceeds does take a big jump up this year. I think we got to be at least 2.5 star. Like if we're 2.5 star, we win the Sun Belt again next year, maybe I'll think about it. But that's a stretch. That's going to be very difficult to do. We get a lineman here in Hill Bear. I'm going to go E-Bear. We got our kicker in Wesovich, gem kicker, very nice. Don't want, that's good that we're not got to have that. Trying to get a kicker carry over into our hours and our positions and our limited amount of 35 slots when it comes time for transfer portal. And we raise program tradition. We raise brand exposure. Sick. Katie Hutchinson, Sunbelt Player of the Week. Earned it. Other linemen need as much help as we can get. Shout out Yancey. And we get Barcow, who in terms of talent, guys that I think are going to have a good rating. I have the quarterback that we got, the athlete, because he's an athlete. I think Barcow at pass rush, he had, in terms of just base stats, I think he's going to pull a pretty high rating. He's going to be in the 70s for sure. Arch Manning wins the Heisman. At this point, maybe the most shocking thing is he's still at Texas. Usually he transfers right away. Let's go, Ray Guy winner, our punter, freshman punter. Brian Colombo, legend. And we're in the Roof Claim Boca Raton Bowl against New Mexico State. I'll take that. I was always kind of worried because I think let's stack a bowl game. Bowl game's only going to help our school raise our prestige level. And I was like, oh man, we're 21 ranked, so we might get Michigan, we might get a blue blood that had a disappointing year, that we're going to have no chance. Very good chance to end this season with a bowl win as well. Taylor Day for New Mexico State, very efficient quarterback, Parker Awad. 3,300 yards, 22 touchdowns, only 3 picks. Okay, the run game, nothing special. Receiving game. Don't really have much speed. That guy could be concerning, though. Caden Saunders, 92 speed, 96 acceleration. Hopefully he doesn't see the field a whole lot. Defensively, pass rush, non-existent. This is a win. This needs to be a win. This isn't a program that's been down bad or anything like that. They had the peak, the Chadwell years, double-digit wins, little bit of a drop-off, and that's kind of the turning point. Do we continue to plummet from where we took over, or do we bounce the ship and get back to that level? And this is that level. This is where Coastal, in the 20s, be ranked in the 20s, be one of the better non-Power 5 teams, and be a problem. Be a team that those Power 5 teams don't want to schedule. That's where we need to get back to before we start worrying about taking this team to another level, before we start worrying about, do we jump conferences? Do we look, again, ACC? Do we look Big 12? Do we look, I'm not going to say SEC quite yet, but you know what I'm saying? Those are the, South Carolina. Is that a logical move at some point? Maybe. But we have to at least get this program back to the floor that they once were with Chadwell as their coach. That's what we're doing here. Make bowl games, get rankings, even though you're not necessarily a powerhouse, not necessarily overachieving. And this bowl game doesn't mean anything. In the grand scheme of things, probably doesn't mean anything. But it's us, another opportunity to get some hardware, to at least ensure that we should be able to get back to the 1.5 star prestige the school was a year ago. It was unjustly regressed from. But maybe with this bowl win, with our record, with the top 20 ranking, we might even be able to sneak up into the teens here. And a Sun Belt championship. Could we get 2-star prestige? That would be sick. I would very much welcome that. Let's see if we make the jump here. This is usually where you'll get it. There we go. Coach up to level 35. 2 stars. Let's go. We lose out on pro potential, but we get coach prestige, coach stability. 2 stars. Finish the number 15th ranked team. Let's go. Shout out Georgia winning the Natty. Shout out Tulane for making the playoffs and getting a playoff win. That's inspirational for us as a program. For us statistically, Larry Garfield. 57% completion percentage, yuck. But 3,100 yards, 26 touchdowns, 10 picks. You can win with that. Run game, if Washington didn't get hurt, easy 1,000 yards. Definitely 1,000 yards from scrimmage. He was our go-to wide receiver for most of the season. But we found a special player there, and we got his deal breaker. I think that was C- when we started the year. So we got that up to a B. That is huge. Wayne Hutchinson. We got Zachary with an X. Got him involved late. Ooh, he's going to be Potentially flirting with the portal. I don't like that. Washington was just complete weapon. Defensively, from a pass rush standpoint, not great. It's work in progress. It's what you have when your pass rush is, you know, all below 73 overalls. But our secondary, dog, man. Vicari Swain from South Carolina. We got the A+ playing style deal breaker, so he should return as one of the best DBs in the nation. 7 picks. Love seeing that. Same with Denson, another guy. Playing style, thought he was going to be one and done. Got him in the portal. He should return. Sick. Or the freshman, throwing him to the Wolves. He gets 68 tackles and 2 picks. Happy with our secondary. Brian Colombo here, obviously he's the Ray Guy winner, but he's also first team All-American as a freshman. And then the Sun Belt, that's only focused on first team. It's all Robbie Washington, first team running back. We have Hanson at tackle, Grayson Howard, Swain, and our punter. Oh, why not? Any accolade is good. Or the true freshman becomes second team All-Sun Belt. So with that season, not nearly as nerve-wracking as this point in time was a year ago, where we literally lost as many people as we possibly could. This time around, it's very reasonable players that we have. And I honestly, we have all 9. I'm going to try all 9 just because we don't have a numbers. Like, all these guys just add that value as depth. Let's see how many. We're 1 for 1. Uh-oh. There we go. Got the center. Got Santucci, our quarterback we recruited last year. Sick. And we got Bentley. Sick. So, okay, cool. 4 and 2. That's a good record. You take 4 and 2 every day of the week. Now, my authentic reaction to what we have available in the transfer portal. Now, if this was 12 hours from now, we would have the title update, which is supposed to open things up more in the transfer portal, have more players available. We decided not to wait for that update to record this episode. Are we going to get a good transfer? I think now is a 2-star. We should have a little bit better roll. And look at that. I'm just seeing right now from the first place. Now, they're all corners, which is that a bug? Is that why are they all corners? But we got guys. We got. Let's go to work. Wait. Before we go to work, do we have any 4-stars? Highly doubt. Okay. Why are they all corners? So let's take a look at our transfer portal targets. Now, me personally, we're still not at a level as a program where there's going to be like a lot of name values that like I resonate with. Maybe some of these guys play for your favorite team. I think Kirk's from Ohio State. He was pretty hyped up a little bit. We have Malik Clark at wide receiver. He's an absolute dog. Malachi James, one of the faster running backs in the nation. But, I mean, we're not getting, you look at some of the names into the transfer portal. If we were dealing with some of the top prospects that are available, there's big names that we're working on. Now, this also was recorded before the last title update, which is supposedly, which I'm excited to get to in year 2 of our Coastal Carolina Rebuild Dynasty here, is like a lot more 4 and 3 stars. At least start with, like, they're not locked. Like, I could have a chance, even if it's just me wasting my hours, I would technically, hopefully, have more chances at some of these 4 stars to be let down. But I will say, overall, the fact that we are able to get at least a chance here with Jabore Antoine, Jamrock Grimsley as 4 stars that may buy into the project. Now, I'm seeing Georgia as the leading school for both those players. It's going to be very tough because we're already stretched thin as it is with this insanely wide net. Now, you will notice in a lot of these players, we are the number 1 school. So hopefully we, with 25, 35, even 15 hours can maintain that position. Because this is another year that, man, we absolutely need to get as close to 35 targets as we possibly can because our roster is severely lacking depth. That's a pretty damn good roll to go from week 1 to week 2. First place, old Coastal Carolina. I will say in this second stage, as far as I could see, and I would actually really love feedback in the comments if you guys know if it's changed or you've been able to test it out. The bug where visits during transfer portal don't actually adjust or fix. I didn't see that pop up on the patch notes for this last title update. I don't know if it was stealth patched or not. I didn't see anything on the couple of the college football Reddits that I do frequent. So I'm just going to go under the assumption that visits are still bugged So we're just going to have to, increase our hours and hope that that is enough to get most of these targets over the line. All right, here we go, Drummel. Didn't get anyone early, but I had a 35-35, one player. Actually, no, two players. We had number 2 school. Everyone else, we were the first place school. So here's hoping we're about to rattle off a list, and our depth issues that we ran into last offseason are a thing of the past. We finished ranked. We should be, and this is how we're going to ascend as a program. We get Shaq McCroy, 3-star tackle, locked in. Cash Courtney. We needed guards. I need to get 4 guards from this portal to make up kind of minimums. We get Miles Graham. So he was actually a player, Florida Gator, legacy player for my Gators. He was just a last second. He was number 2. I was like, you know what? He was 35 of 35. The final guy on our board. We're actually able to steal him. I only put 5 hours on him. So I'm happy and stoked that he probably saw the success. We had a good pipeline there of Florida guys coming up or down geographically. That'd be coming up. We got Clay Donnell at linebacker. We got Dominic Kirks coming over from Ohio State. There's a big commit. There we go. There's one of our guards that we need on the interior. We got the 4-star freshman Antoine. That is sick. We get Boatwright, who's just a big-time athlete. He's like a 220-pound safety. I think he's going to be fast. We got Ben Hanks, corner, Florida. We got Malachi James. He's going to be a one-and-done at running back, but I think pretty sure he's very fast. We got Davidson at tight end. I need to get 2 tight ends as well. It'll be another position from like a minimum standpoint that I want to add a lot of depth to, but we are getting, there we go, get the Canadian Bryce Butler. He'll kick into defensive tackle. We got Jaden Ham. There we go. We got our 2 tight ends. We got our 3 tight ends. We got Carter. He was a last second. Let's go back in, see if we can add some depth. So we end up missing out. This one sucks because I think Malik Clark was absolutely going to be a day 1 starter for us. Pretty sure very fast. So that's going to be a little bit of a bummer. We missed out there. We missed out on Biquette. So we didn't land the wideouts, but the truth of the matter is wide receiver is kind of luxury position for us. I was looking at wide receivers that would be fun, not necessarily a position that we had to improve. We lose out on the quarterback, Cutter Boley, which kind of stings a little bit. We lose out on McLaughlin, on Jamrock Grimsley, the 4-star corner, and we lose out on one of the guards, Riggs. But overall, so much better than where we were a year ago. We finished with a top 50 recruiting class, so the progress is starting to be shown. 29 of 35 total targets. That's pretty sick, and we did get the 1 4-star in the portal. As of the misses from the portal, the big one, Grimsley here, the sophomore as a star dev corner. That would have been sick. Also missed out on McLaughlin on the offensive line. He went to Penn State. I mean, we're not winning that battle. He was a star dev. Let's get a class recap. We'll start with the transfer portal. I'm always a little bit more down on the dev traits from transfer portal gets. And it's always more exciting to find like a guy that we got from high school that has like a star or an elite or something like that. That'd be funny. So Antoine is impact. So it definitely is a lower end 4-star, but he's a freshman. So that's sick. We got impact on Donnell, an impact on Pitts, a star dev on Dominic Kirks coming over from Ohio State. Impact. We got normal. I mean, for the offensive line, for the most part, we just need bodies. Malachi James with an impact. Impact on Ben Hanks. Boatwright with an impact. Miles Graham comes with a star dev. Impact on Carter. Normal. Impact on the tight end. Clayton, the sophomore linebacker. Thumper, they say. Star dev. And we get an impact on Bryce Butler. Now, looking at our recruiting class. Wesovich, our kicker, is an impact dev. Is a gem. We get an impact on Yancey. Oh. Our quarterback, Richard Chavez, who honestly is closer to being a 2-star recruit than he is a 3-star. With those stats, I know. But a normal dev trait is a bummer. But it's, again, there's dynamic dev traits in college football 26. So, normal dev is not the end of the world. And my top community request, C4, as a community, if we can gain momentum on features that we want to see in college football 27, I think, and it shouldn't be easy, shouldn't necessarily be spoon-fed and given to us, but there should be a way that we can figure out skill caps, find out skill caps during the recruiting phase. Now, there can be an argument made that that's not really realistic, right? Because you're not going to, until the guy gets in your build, there is an element of I just want that from a rebuild standpoint. It'd be good information to know. it also would be kind of overpowered in the sense of realism. I think you could just tie it behind maybe an expensive coachability. So it's not something you have all the time. It's not something that everyone's going to have. But if you want to spend your coach points to unlock it, you can get it. Because in the case of Chavez, the dev trait normal, yeah, that sucks. But if he ends up being a starting quarterback for us and plays well and has good skill caps, like we're going to play him enough that ideally he will go up dev trait because he's playing well. But if he has no dev trait and really bad skill caps, we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. So we got Roche, the 3-star gem. Now, we had a lot of gems from our high school recruits. So I'm really hoping we get a couple stars, and they're not all going to be impact devs. Impact on Malvo. Barcow is an impact. Stoke is a star. Major Stoke, no gem. Ends up being our best dev trait so far in a list of gem players. We got a normal on Hilbert. Alves with an impact. Sisk with a normal. Trevon Jacobs, statistically, one of my favorite players, only in impact. So we did not get the haul of recruits that we're hoping from a dev trait standpoint. Only one player with a star is kind of a bit of a bummer. I will say, with Chavez at quarterback, I knew the rating was going to be good. Those stats were undeniable. He is, again, like 50, 100 player difference between being ranked as a 3 and a 2-star. A 79 overall quarterback. So, I mean, we look at the stats here. He is our most athletic quarterback. He has the best arm talent. He has the tied for most short accuracy. Now, these other quarterbacks are going to get upgrades from training camp that he's not. But, yeah. If he has good skill caps, we're going to be cooking. That's our QB1 right there. As far as portal gets, we added Malachi James to the running back room. 95 speed, 94 acceleration. That's going to complement Robbie Washington very nicely. Fortunately, we missed out on our wide receiver targets, so we're a little light in the wide receiver room, but I think after training camp, it's going to look a little bit better, and I'm expecting Zachary with an X to be a big-time go-to guy for us next year. We had barely enough bodies on the offensive line last training camp. We got 2 left tackles, 3 left guards, 3 centers, 2 right guards, and 4 right tackles, so the O-line is feeling pretty healthy. As well as for some of the other just base ratings before training camp from our portals, Clayton is a 79. We have 79 on Carter, 77 on Kirks. Bryce Butler, who he was a 318-pound end, moving him to his, clearly for our scheme, D tackle spot, brings him to a 77. We get Miles Graham, former Florida Gator. He's an 81 at will linebacker. Antoine and Hanks are really our 2 big gets in the secondary. Antoine was the 4-star. He's a 79. Hanks is a 77. The skills on Hanks is kind of bizarre. So a great athlete, right? But then when you really break it down, he has 93 catching, 86 pursuit, just wild. His carrying is solid as well. Now, I did, just out of curiosity, with that catching, could you make a move to wide receiver? Obviously, his route running is non-existent, so that wouldn't benefit. But just really, really kind of fun looking. It's like one of those things, if this was a multi-user league, you'd be wondering, what was your buddy doing to build this guy this way with the upgrades? But he looks sick. In the secondary, we got Boatwright, who likely will be a starter for us on the portal. He's a 74. So I'm excited for this team. Also, our highest rated high school recruit got an 80 kicker. Ooh, and now we're getting dev traits from previous places. So we get Coates at tight end with a free little dev trait increase. Now, we'll say, as I'm going through our upgrades here, we'll take a look at a couple positions here. We have our starter from a year ago, Larry Garfield. Didn't really get a crazy amount of points here. And I do think it's worth, let's see if we can get that as close. I mean, that's what we need. If he's going to have a shot for the quarterback battle, we're going to need as much throw power as we can give him. I would then say with that 6 remaining, at least go 1 into accuracy. That brings him to an 83 overall. I'll tell you what, Santucci, who 88 throw power being his cap, kind of stinks. He is kind of coming out of nowhere here. Be an interesting option. So we know we came and got a 79 athlete that's going to try and be quarterback, but now we have a 79 and 80 and 2 83s at quarterback. So a very interesting battle ahead to figure out who our quarterback 1's going to be. Now for skill positions, we got Malachi James in the portal, already very fast, and of course, let's just max it out. So now we have a 97 speed, 96 acceleration running back. Sick. Which we can give him shifty a couple times. Yeah, that's well worth the investment. I think the big dog we all want to see is Robbie Washington, the star of the show. We got 59 points now because we did change position. You know, the skill cap, he's never going to have better than 72 carrying. But with our points here, let's start. Let's get him as much shifty as we can get. We need more change of direction. So we're going to get that through here. 7 points. 7. What do I need? 95 speed. Oh, I need more speed. Oh, you don't need to twist my arm on that one. I think there's absolutely a case that, like, getting shifty will make more sense. Bummer that I can't max out that speed to make him even crazier. But, you know, I think we have ourselves an absolute monster on our hands. He's going to be even better. As long as the wear and tear doesn't keep taking him off the field. At wide receiver, Zachary with an X is probably going to have to be our wide receiver 1 this year. And the bad news is very low skill caps, which we knew coming into this. So we're going to max those out for him. We still can't get any abilities. He's not going to get much better than a 74, unfortunately. Like, I guess we might as well, as much as we can, you know, try to get that awareness bump. But, like, even then, hitting the skill cap, we can work on the elusiveness skill cap. There's only so much you can do. And I do think in hindsight, kind of made it as like a nothing burger that we had the depth at wide receiver. But I certainly kind of think, as far as like game changers at wide receiver, what's this one? Juke moves. I mean, I'm not personally doing a whole lot of spins. Do throw a couple more jukes than not. 83 is not bad. Hoese, who was a gem gadget, he was our highest rated recruit from year 1. He got 71 points. So I'm thinking this one, we go with the casual, get him as much speed as we possibly can. But I like the fact that, you know, he pretty much has a perfect skill cap for route running. He's going to be a good player. We're able to bring him up to a 79 overall. But at our corners, Orr, who has great skill caps, we're able to bring him up to a 77. Antoine, who we got in the portal, up to an 84. And then we have Swain, who was our big transfer portal get from year 1, stealing him away from South Carolina. And I think we are probably just max that out. I'm not overly concerned about trying to like cheese the skill cap for our initial recruits. I mean, we will use it in certain, you know, instances, but I think for right now, let's enjoy making our highest rated player that we've had on our roster. 91, what's the physicals here? Let's get, yeah, sure, we'll go jammer. And platinum in that ability. I mean, it's kind of hard to be like, nah, let's not make you as fast and as good an athlete as we possibly can. But a 92 overall. Let's go. There you go, fellas. That is going to do it for episode 2 of our Coastal Carolina Dynasty Rebuild series here in College Football 26. Obviously, right now on the channel, we have the release of Madden 26, my Madden 26 early content, and the Madden 26 rebuilds and main channel franchise that we want to drop. And then also, I'm still having a blast, especially now wanting to really try out that new title update. And I like the direction from that first title update and the feedback from the community that College Football 26 is going to continue to get rid of the annoying bugs that make me not necessarily love this game right now. But I think you got to just bear with me while I try to find the balance of uploads. My plan is this year absolutely to have more college uploads throughout the year. Last year kind of tapered off and I went mostly into Madden. I really want to try and satisfy the needs of this community by having both those. But it's probably going to take me a little bit to try to balance the upload schedule in order that I want to do things. So just bear with me with that, but I'm going to try my best. But that'll do it for me today, guys. If it is your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. We're so freaking close. Maybe by today. Literally every upload is going to be a maybe. We will hit that 180,000 subscriber goal on the channel so we can hit that. That would be sick. And that'll do it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace. I love ya. Have a good one.